Hey everybody, at Dawn here again, and I'm back with another episode of the Bits and Pieces, this time Thursday edition. I think this is a new home for the Bits and Pieces. I think we're going to settle on Thursday. We're going to go with that. We're going to run with it. Let's get right into the first article. It's coming into us from Dark Universe Horror Database. Title of the article is Non-Spoilers Details from Thursday night's test screening of Halloween Kills, published on February 2nd, 2020 by Nick Bond. Now, I've talked about it here before. We've covered a lot of the upcoming. We talked a lot about Halloween 2018 on my channel. In the Bits and Pieces, we talked a lot already about Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends, and we're going to continue to do that. This article gives a couple tidbits, non-spoiler, but it's pretty funny, so I thought I would share it with you. Let's get right into it. There's a picture of Michael in the closet. So this is spoiler-free feedback from the Halloween Kills test screening. This past Thursday, in Los Angeles, California, Blumhouse's Halloween Kills has the very first test screening in front of an audience of around 200 or so moviegoers. Below, we have put together as much non-spoiler information as we can from the attendees. Here we go. We can't guarantee that the following user comments or reviews are 100% legit, so bear that in mind when reading this. A couple cool things that stand out the most. One, the eerie blue lighting is back in the movie. Two, one major character returns. I think we already know that, with the nurse returning to reprise her role. Michael Myers is ultra violent, ultra brutal. Actually, I've heard, I think I saw an article, I didn't cover it, Anthony Michael Hall was talking about it because he plays Tommy Doyle in it, that apparently this is way more violent than the 2018 movie. So if you like the violence level in the 2018 Halloween, this one cranks it up to another level apparently. Number 4, the flashback scenes are incredibly well done. 5, the movie is Halloween on acid. It's balls to the wall crazy. Go with it. 6, the movie has some great callbacks to past Halloween films, but it remains originals. Hey, nods, I'm okay with it. Some people might not like that sort of thing, but I'm okay with horror movies and sci-fi movies, genre movies, nodding to the movies before, because really, come on. I love horror, I love sci-fi, but it's it's not real. So I'm okay with nodding. If it breaks reality, all good, I'm fine with it. 7, the 78 Halloween mask used for the flashback scenes is going to have fans going bonkers. So apparently the original mask is back being used in this movie. So here we go. We got some tweets, I think, and quotations down below. Exclusive Halloween Kills quotes from our source. The flashback sequence, it's beefy but never overstays its welcome, about 7 to 10 minutes, genuinely impresses, adds to the original in a meaningful way while contextualizing its place in H18's Kills canon. It's surprisingly emotional. According to a Reddit poster, Tricky Dude 98 director Gordon Green delivered a solid sequel that will impress more than depress. They actually did it. So that's in a Reddit thread for Halloween movies by Tricky Dude 98. With all the buzz surrounding Halloween Kills in the final chapter of this trilogy, the director and the writer finally delivered a solid sequel that will impress more than depress. This will probably be the first time the franchise has gotten a smooth test screening with no problems whatsoever. I won't give out any spoilers due to the respect level of Universal and diehard fans, but I will say this 1978 is back, and I felt it every time the flashback happens. The tone, the feel, the music, and even the shapes, attitude, and movement, it's all there. As for the present day, I don't think horror has felt more organic and emotional in my entire life. David Gordon Green has not disappointed. So I'm hoping that's an independent and not just a fanboy or paid for plug for the movie, because that's over the top. It sounds really good, though. It sounds really good. So, hey, I'm hopeful. Hopeful it's going to live up to this high praise that's been given to it by Tricky Dude on Reddit. So here we go. To wrap up the article, David Gordon Green is attached to direct both Halloween sequels, with John Carpenter confirmed to provide new scores. The third film will wrap up the Laurie Strode and Michael Myers saga. Jamie Lee Curtis stars as Laurie Strode. Nancy Stevens will reprise the role as Nurse Marion, that big character returning. Charles Cypher will also reprise his role as Lee Brackett, coming back from as the sheriff. Well, not the sheriff, I think it's the deputy. Anthony Michael Hall will play Tommy Doyle. Kyle Richards will reprise her role as the adult Lindsay Wallace. Jaral Nantambu will return as Julian. Robert Longstreet has been cast as adult Lonnie Elam. Nick Castle and James Jude Courtney are returning to play the role of Michael Myers. I should have that paragraph down perfectly, because every time I read an article, and thank you, Dark Universe Horror Database, as always, for your articles. Every time I read that paragraph, it's always the same thing. They're just cutting and pasting it into the new into their new articles. Halloween Kills will stalk theaters on October 16th, 2020, followed by Halloween Ends on October 15th, 2021. And that's it for this article. Non-spoiler details from Thursday night's test screening of Halloween Kills. Let's get on to the next one. And for our next article, we're going to go to bloodydisgusting.com. Title of the article is Netflix's Resident Evil series enters production this June, according to a leak. Article was published on February 4th, 2020 by Mike Wilson. I'm not sure if that really looks like a Mike Wilson, but either way, it's groovy. Let's get into the article. There's a screenshot of a Resident Evil game. We haven't heard a heck of a lot about Netflix's adaptation of Capcom's Resident Evil franchise for the service since last year, but according to Redanian Intelligence, a fan site that worked to uncover information on the Witcher Netflix series, that's about to change this summer when Constantine Film Developed series begins production. So it's going into production. Now keep in mind, this hasn't been confirmed, but with Redanian's intelligence work on finding info about the Witcher series before and after its release, there might be something to it. According to the production entry for the RE series, aside from production beginning in June, the show is set to be 8 episodes, with each being 60 minutes in length. Prior to the June start date, the series' on-location prep work will begin in April, with the main hub of production being based in South Africa. Again, this hasn't been confirmed by either Netflix or Constantine Film. However, with the remake of RE3 Nemesis right around the corner, yes, Resi 3 coming right around the corner, and with the success of The Witcher's transition from game to Netflix, it's actually really good. I recommend it. Even if you don't like The Witcher, if you're not familiar with it, check it out. It's actually really good series from what I've seen so far. I'm still only 3 episodes in, but Henry Cavill actually pulls it off. I'm not the biggest Henry Cavill fan. He was okay as Superman. We've talked about that before on my streams. Pretty good decent as Superman. Other than that, I don't really like the guy personally, but as The Witcher, he's awesome. He's actually really good as Geralt. Geralt, come on, Roach. Anyways, let's finish this article and stop side ranting. It wouldn't be that much of a stretch if someone finally said something about the production in an official capacity. So there it is. The Resident Evil series. I haven't heard too much about this. I knew that it was in development. I've heard a couple rumors that it's supposed to be what it's supposed to be based around, but I don't really want to get in that because a lot of it is just Reddit and fan sites talking about the stuff. So I hope we get in more information because I am interested in checking this out. So if I do get more information, as do you see more articles in regards to this, hell yeah, I'll cover down the bits and pieces. And that's it for this article. Netflix's Resident Evil series enters production this June, according to a leak. That's it for this one. Let's get on to the next one. And for our last article of the week, we're going to go back to bloodydisgusting.com. Title of the article is Who Really Cares at This Point? Actually, wait, no. It is the New Mutants poster again assures that the movie is releasing for reals this time. It's really happening this time. Thank you again, Bloody Disgusting, for the last article. And for this one, John Squires published this one. He wrote it, published on February 4th, 2020. So there's a picture of the New Mutants poster. It's really happening, peeps. It's really happening. 20th Century Studio is finally releasing Josh Boone's dark superhero movie, The New Mutants, this coming April, and another brand new poster has arrived to remind us of that. The cast featured on the new art you'll find down below includes Maisie Williams, Anna Taylor-Joy, Charlie Heaton, Alice Braga, Blue Hunt, and Henry Zaga. In the film, 5 young mutants, just discovering their abilities while held in a secret facility as against their will, fight to escape their past sins and save themselves. The New Mutants and their powers will finally be unleashed April 3rd, 2020. So there's the new movie poster. When this movie was first, the writing kind of borrows from The Thing, but it's kind of like punky. It's got that punk yellow, like we're real rebels. I'm surprised this guy's foot isn't against the wall, like, kind of like bend the knee up and have the sneakers sitting against the wall flat. But these mutants, they don't take anything from anyone. They've waited way too long. We know this movie has been in the can for almost 2 years. They've waited way too long. This movie is DOA. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you're excited about this movie or if you are interested in any of the articles I talked about. The test screening for Halloween Kills apparently went well. Netflix's Resident Evil series, we had some updates on that. And now we have the New Mutants. We're actually only a couple months away. We're going to be a number of weeks away before we know it. Well, we are if you want to go that high. But I usually don't count that high in weeks. At this point, I prefer to keep it in the months. As we get into March, then we'll be weeks away. But when it was first announced, I was interested. I want a darker version of a superhero movie. I'm more for it. But then I heard, one, it was having production problems. It was finishing up when Disney was actually buying Fox. That merger was happening. It got canned. It got a PG-13 rating. There's not much here. So we'll see if people go out and see this movie. I'm not too excited about it at this point. I'm probably going to wait for it to come to home release. I'm not going to go out and see this in the theater, nor am I going to use any type of streaming services or VPN to take the chance of watching something like this. It's really not worth it. But I wanted to report on it because, like I said, at one time I was interested in it. I know there is still some interest in it, even though it's 2 years down the road after it pretty much got shelved. And here we are, new poster. And that's it for this article, and that's it for this episode of the Bits and Pieces. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I hope you enjoyed it. And like I said, feel free to comment below on any of the articles we talked about this week. I'll be back next Thursday, but in the meantime, don't forget to like, share, and most importantly, subscribe to my channel. See you next time. I'm at Dawn, and I'll talk to you soon.